Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a segmented frequency test in a VNA software. So the example that I'm going to use is E5080A software, which is similar to the PNA and also the USB series VNA by Keysight. So when do you need to use this segmented test? For example, you have a wideband measurements, a sweep measurements, and your device under test just happens that it works for 3 different bands, let's say within 100 meg to 1 gigahertz. And within the 3 band of interest, somehow you want to focus on those 3 bands. You want to have more points, sweep points in those 3 bands, and you do not want to have too much points in between the bands because you do not want to waste too much time. If you set up equally number of points across 100 meg to 1 gig, you don't really get the benefits of the 3 bands of interest. So with this segment frequency setup, you can actually focus on the band of your interest. And with that, you can actually have more detailed information on those 3 bands. And the other example that I can think of is when you want to do a filter measurements, you want to have more points at the pass band and less points at the reject band. So these are the 2 situations that I can think of. So let's get into it. What you're seeing right now is simulations software because I do not have that hardware with me right now, and you can actually download it from keysight.com. Just look for VNA simulator software. There's a free version, there's a paid version, so I won't go into detail for that. If you want to know more about this software, you can actually Google or just search in YouTube. There are many videos regarding this VNA simulator, and one of them was done by Dr. Joel, the expert for this software and also VNA. Right, let's get into it. I'll click this VNA simulator. Let's choose the 5080A. So you can see that there's a lot of choice of different type of VNA, PNA. So for now, just go with the 5080A to 9 gig, 2 ports. Let's click run. If you're familiar with any of the Keysight VNA, this is how it looks like. And let's jump straight into it. How do we set the segmented test? So let's go to sweep. So sweep type, this is the one that you're going to change your segment sweep. So if it's a linear frequency, it means that across from 100K to 9 gigahertz, there are 201 points. So each point is divided equally, the space. But for segment sweep, you can define which band to have more points, to have different IF bandwidth or different power level. You can customize that. So once you click segment sweep, you can go to segment table. This is how it looks like. For now, it starts from 9 kHz to 1 MHz with 21 points. So you can add in more on the y-axis and also the x-axis. Right now, we just set number of points. If you want to have more variables that you can change, you can go to segment table. So for example, I want to change the power level for each band differently. I have bandwidth, and so I want to have some dwell time. Let's say it's a filter. It's a passive filter. It needs time to settle down. So I can do that. Once I'm happy with that, I can change that. So let's say the first one I want to test between 50 meg to 250 meg. So I just click here. Time 50 meg. Stop 250 meg. Number of points, I want to make it to 501 points. 501 points, enter. And then IF bandwidth, I'm happy with 1 kilohertz. Power is the same. Dwell time, let's say I want to set it to 0.2 seconds. 0.2 seconds for every point in that range, 501 points. So this is very slow. Let's change it to 0.005. So 5 milliseconds per point. Then I can add in another segment. So let's say the next one set from 500 meg to 700 meg. Number of points, let's say 201 points. Enter. 201 points, enter. So currently, as you can see, it's not updated because the state is off. So we have to change that to on. So I will change this back to 0, assuming that for 500 to 700 meg, I don't really need that dwell time. See that? So it suddenly jumped there because there's no dwell time needed. If I want to add another segment here, I can either choose insert or add segment. Add segment will add in at the bottom, insert is in between, and delete will be the one that you highlighted for now, is row number 2. So let's say that the next one I want to do is 850 meg to 990 meg. Number of points I'll set to 801 points. So I have bandwidth, maybe I change it to 3 kilohertz. And make sure that it's on so that you can see the highest frequency is here, the lowest frequency is on the left side. If you are not sure, you can actually turn on the marker and you can see that it's actually jumping one segment to another 250, and then suddenly jump to 500 and then jump to 850 onwards. So we go back to sweep table. So the next thing I want to show you is that you might ask whether we can export this table or we can create a table in CSV format and then import it. The answer is yes. There are two ways of doing it to know what is the format needed. One is to read through the help file, for example here. So you just click the help and it will show you, it looks like this, and then you can look for segment table. So in the segment table it should tell you how it looks like. There's no sample file. So we move on to the second method from engineering standpoint. Second method is you create something and then you look back, assuming that the software will be the one who create and understand what is being created. I'm going to save this segment file, save table. Let's say I want to put the name as segment 1. Let's have a look of the file in CSV format. There are certain headers needed, so let's change this. So these are the predefined header. So it all depends on your setup. For example, if you remember, I did turn on the IF bandwidth, I did turn on the power. So these are the things that is predefined. And this is the table, look exactly like what we have set up. Let's say we preset the whole thing. Let's cancel this and we reload that table. Let's go to sweep, segment table, let's load the table. If you remember, this is how it looks like when we set up just now. So the question is, why is it still 100 kilohertz to 9 gigahertz? The quick answer is that you have to change from linear frequency to segment sweep. And then let's go to segment. Let's go to segment table, and it's exactly like what we've seen just now. And of course, you can change that measurements type. Currently it's S11, you can do a S21 measurements. And let's go back to sweep. So it'll be here. Let's drag it up so we can see the simulated result. So the next question is, how do we do it via skippy command? So again, go to help, standard, segment table. So that's the programming language here. So once you click that, let's go back to standard. So you have a segment table. This is how you add in segment, and then you delete segment, delete all, things like that as you go by. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching.